reading from the book of the prophet Isaiah. Rise up in splendor, Jerusalem. Your light has come. The glory of the Lord shines upon you. See, darkness covers the earth, and thick clouds cover the peoples. But upon you the Lord shines, and over you appears his glory. Nations shall walk by your light, and kings by your shining radiance. Raise your eyes and look about. They all gather and come to you. Your sons come from afar, and your daughters in the arms of their nurses. Then you shall be radiant at what you see. Your heart shall throb and overflow. For the riches of the sea shall be emptied out before you. The wealth of nations shall be brought to you. Caravans of camels shall fill you. Dromedaries from Midian and Ephah, all from Sheba, shall come, bearing gold and frankincense, and proclaiming the praises of the Lord. The word of the Lord.
Our first reading on this solemnity of the Epiphany of the Lord is taken from the prophet Isaiah. Epiphany, the manifestation, the revelation of God in Jesus Christ to the whole world, to all the nations. The first reading captures this for us. So let us reflect on this Sunday. Reflect on this theme, following the light of Christ. How can we follow the light that God sends to us in Jesus Christ? The prophet Isaiah has something good to say to the city Jerusalem. Jerusalem is being asked to rise up, to wake up. Why? Because the glory of God is coming to her. So Jerusalem will be the receptacle, the recipient of the glory of God. Now, any person, any city that is granted this grace of being the home of God's light, of God's glory, that person or city will surely feel blessed. Who will not? Who will not be edified by such a gift? The glory of God is in you. But if it is the glory, the light of God, then it is luminous. So, from Jerusalem, the light of God will radiate to the whole world. This is the vocation of Israel, not only to receive God's presence, glory, and light for its own consumption. The glory of God will not be entrusted to Jerusalem for its own good and its own interest. No, there is a vocation. Through Jerusalem, the glory of God, the light of God, will be revealed to all the nations. Seeing the light of God in Jerusalem, the peoples, all the peoples, meaning those who do not belong to Israel, will see the light, and they will stream towards Jerusalem. They will follow the light emanating from Jerusalem. So in a way, Jerusalem is a servant of the light of God. Through Jerusalem, many people, seeing the light, will discover who God is. They will stream towards Jerusalem and there get to know God and pay homage to God. In fact, towards the end of the first reading, we have the gifts coming from the seas, coming from the farms, coming from the nations, brought by the caravans of the nations, being poured into Jerusalem. This is a symbolic way of saying people seeing the light of God will worship this God, will adore this God. Thanks to the light of God emanating from Jerusalem. My dear brothers and sisters, Jerusalem has a vocation to show the light of God, not to keep it, not to hide it, but it is not to promote oneself. It is to make God known, epiphany, to manifest who God is. And seeing that light, people of other nations will stream towards Jerusalem. This is how we can help people see the light and follow the light. We who have received the light of God in Jesus Christ must manifest that light so that people will be drawn to God. We want to ask the question, how can we help people follow the light? Well, we have to turn to ourselves. Are we showing that light of Christ? How effectively are we manifesting Jesus through the light of His Word, through the light of His example and person, hopefully contained in us? The vocation of Jerusalem is our vocation too.